Hello, maths darlings. Today we're going to be looking to see if we can use rounding strategies to give estimates when we're adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing larger numbers. Now you're probably wondering why we're doing this, and we do this so that when we don't have to give an exact result, we can get an answer quickly.
Right, legends. So what we need to do here is look at the things that are important to be successful when we're going to be doing estimation. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure that we choose the right place value. So there's no point rounding to tens if we're all the way up in the thousands. So we want to find something that can be mentally able to be added, subtracted, multiplied, divided quickly. Second thing is that we know how to use our rounding strategies. So we learnt those in another lesson. So you can check out the other video about rounding strategies if you're unsure. That's where we underline the house and we put a box around the one on the right. So being able to do that well. Our third thing is being able to add, subtract, divide or multiply the equation correctly. So if we can't actually do that using some of our different strategies that we've been taught, then we're not going to get the question right anyway. And the last one is if there's a measurement to add, I can add that measurement as well. So if we're talking about dollars, we put a dollar sign in. If we're talking about meters, we put a meter sign in. So here's a couple of examples. So what I'm going to do is take you through an example of an addition and a subtraction, a multiplication and division on how to do it. So we'll start off here. I've got quite a difficult one here, but if we have a look, we're looking at three numbers, and we've got to pick first an appropriate place value to round to. Now, if I'm looking at it, I'm probably thinking here, would I round to the tens house? Probably not, because it won't be easy to add three numbers up. So I'm probably here going to look at rounding to the hundreds house. So I'm going to look at the first one, and I've got underline the hundreds, which is 3, box around the house, which is 8. I know then that being 5 or more, I have to round up. So it's going to be 400. I look at the next one, underline my hundreds house, that's a 6, box around the next. It's a 0, it stays the same. I then come down, underline my hundreds, box around the next. It's a 1, it stays the same because we round down. And now I work it out. Now this becomes a fair bit easier because I only have to add then the 400 plus 600 plus 700. Now I know that straight away I can add my zeros onto the answer, and I can just look at my hundreds house. 6 plus 4 is 10, add 7 more is 17. So my answer here is 1,700. Now, I've been able to add correctly. I should have put my addition sign in. I've put in my answer. I've rounded correctly. Is there a measurement that I need to add? No, there's not. So my answer there is 1,700. I do the same here with my takeaway. I look at this one here and I go, okay, would I round to the hundreds? Probably not. I'll probably get a quicker and easier one by rounding my thousands. So here I'm going to round to my thousands. Underline my thousands. Look at my next house. It's a 3. It stays the same. 8,000. I look at my second one. Underline my thousands. I'm going to put a box around the next. It's 8. I'm going to round up. I'm going to say it's takeaway. I'm going to work it out. I know 0 from 0 is 0. 0 from 0 is 0. 0 from 0 is 0. 8 take 3, 5. Easy to work out, 500. So when I work out, want to know where an approximate answer is, it's 500 for this one. We're going to do the same thing here with our multiplication. I look again and I say, okay, top number. I'm going to round to the closest 100. So I'm going to underline my hundreds house, box around the next. I've got 500. Multiplied by, I'm going to do tens on this one. I'm going to look at the next house, 9. It goes up to 30. Now, I know straight away my rule when I'm multiplying with zeros. I'm going to cross out my zeros and put them straight on the answers. 3 zeros. Then I'm going to multiply what's next. 5 times 3. It's 15. So my approximate answer here is 15,000. The last one is quite simple. I'm going to look at what I'm going to round to. And for me, I'm only going to look at the first 2 houses. And the reason I'm looking at my first 2 houses only is because I know 5 doesn't go into 1, but 5 goes into 15. It goes in 3 times. then all I'm going to do then is leave the rest. So I'm going to actually forget about the last 3 houses, and I'm just going to put in 3 zeros. So I only look at the first number or 2 numbers so it fits in perfect into those numbers. When it fits in perfect, then I'm going to fill the rest of it up with zeros. All right. Let's have a look at a couple of extra ones now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an addition and subtraction. You're going to go through the steps. The steps are to set it out correctly. We've done that. The job then is to pick the appropriate house to round to. Now, I would suggest in the addition, we round to the hundreds. In the second one, I would suggest we round to the thousands. I want you to work it all out, have your approximate answer given to me, please, and then we'll come back and check them. Pause now. Okay, let's have a quick look. I'm going to round this one. 3. Look at my next house. So it's going to go to 400. I'm going to look at the 6. Look at my next house. 2. It's going to stay the same. I'm going to add them, and my answer would be 1,000. I look at my next one. Underline my thousands. Box around the next. I know it's 600. 6,000, sorry. Take away. I look at my thousands. Box the next one's 4. It's going to stay there. 4,000. I know straight away that 0 take 0 is 0. It leaves me at the last house. 6 take 4 is 2. Okay, here's my multiplication and my division. I'll remind you with the multiplication, probably need to round to the tens here, house, and then remember your rule about multiplying with zeros. In the second one with the division, remember we're only going to divide into probably the first 2 numbers. Then you'll just add your zeros after it. Have a go now. Pause the video. Thanks, guys. Let's try tens. So we've got 3. We look at the next house, the 1. It stays the same, 30. Look at the 4. Go to the next to the 9. We go up to 50. Cross off the zeros. Put them into the answer. 3 times 5 is 15. The answer is 1,500. We look at the next one. 5 doesn't go into 2, so let's go 5 into 25. Goes 5 times. Add the rest of the zeros so we don't have to worry about the rest. Great, guys. Remember those success criteria. As long as you follow that, you're able to estimate correctly.